3 armored figures stride into the room, every footfall sending a clattering across the marble floor. They progress, flanked on both sides by knights. The general's guard splits to either side. With a confident air, he strides towards the head of the podium. At this point, the film crackles for a second. You almost can't see him as he progresses in front of the great spotlight. He extends both of his hands. Everyone, thank you for joining me here today. I'm sure you have questions galore. After all, over the last few days, it seemed like hell on earth. Everything coming to an end. I'm here to provide a solution to all of your questions. Our plan over the next few days is simple. Do you want to hear it? There's a slight roar, echoing through the tin can-like armor of the people in the crowd. Okay, here it goes. We give up. I give up. He throws his hands up. There is deafened silence amidst the room. No one seemed to expect this, as the man once again returns to the crowd. He suddenly stops as if remembering something, turns on his heel, sending up sparks as he charges back to the podium. No, wait, hold on 1 second. We're still on for the next 5 minutes. I have a solution to all of the issues that face us. 3 grand tactics that I'll put forth that'll drive our nation forwards. Do you want to hear them? All of the knights, startled? Sort of reset in their chairs a little bit, politely fold their hands and motion them on. First things first. I'm going to put forward tactical decree number 1. Slams fist down on the counter. The end of humanity. Now, I understand that there have been divisions based on sub-races, orcs, elves, and all that nonsense. Let me make something clear. Humanity as we understand it is a myth. We've got to do our best. If our armies split up, we can't win. We can't win this war that we're going to continue fighting, eh? Points at the camera. On to tactical decree number 2. I've been on the fronts. I've seen how bad it's gotten. We can't continue as we are. Effective immediately, we need to begin the disarmament of magic items and weapons. Those things are creations of chaos. When one touches the other, boom! 2 knights recoil. I say that every city-state immediately comply with this initiative. We begin disarmament, and my friends over at RNA have already agreed to assist. Once again, motions towards the cameraman. You hear somebody behind the film reel actively giggling at this point. And finally, once and for all, I'm sure you've heard it elsewhere. We're in a golden age. We're living the best lives we can, but what has it brought us? Warfare and bloodshed. So I vote we bring this age to an end. Let's start a new year. Effective immediately, we're throwing out the old calendar. The age of thought is over. We're beginning the age of afterthought. He clangs his gauntlet down on the table. There is a single snicker amidst the crowd. The film, for a second, goes dim and flicks off, and somewhere else, someone prepares to give a speech of their own. A man in a relatively silly tie with a relatively silly suit adjusts his appearance in front of the mirror. He just clicked the TV off as the speech brought itself to a close. He saw himself in that crowd, a greasy boy. He has now grown into a greasy man. There is a knock at his door. Sir? I believe you're up? Excellent, fantastic, okay. He wanders over. You were performing, what was it again? Oration, my dear, oration, the last noble art. Okay, I'm going. He strides outside. The backstage is alive as people shift through props in a hallway that's way too damn small. Green room was even smaller, but he made do. This man is willing to make sacrifices for his art after all. He wanders out, speech prepared, and addresses his audience. A rattling crowd stands, stares, and mostly ignores him. He begins to read his carefully prepared speech. We live in a world carved by heroes and sages. No response. Nothing. The people seem otherwise occupied with their drinks, talking to each other, etc. This doesn't seem to sit too well with the man. He, brow furrowed, clicks his tongue, and snaps his fingers. Ladies and gentlemen! He strides out with a sudden booming voice. Everyone's startled as this sparkling visage steps forward down the stage and addresses the audience themselves. What brings you here tonight? Are you here for a little pleasure, a little drinking? Throws his arm around this man. Yeah, actually, looking to take the night off. Take it easy. Taking a look at him, this man drives up the blood pressure of everyone around. It's like a passive aura. Can we begin by, you perhaps answering a question for me? Yeah, sure. Shoot, what do you got for me? What did your dad do? My, dad scratches back his head. He was a knight. He, I think he fought bandits for a living, something like that. Bandits, you say? Hilarious! Strides away. Hold on. Still walks back. Did I see a marriage band on your hand? Yeah. Do you have a child by any chance? Yeah, I, got a son. What does your son do? My son's a musician, actually, yeah. Plays in town. He lets out another count of laughter. There's a weird chuckle around the room. Why are you laughing? Slams down on the table. A musician! A musician's fantastic! Now, between you and I, who are you more proud of? Your father or your son?
Fuck ass!
Awfully strange question. I'm proud of my son. Yeah, I'm proud of my son. He's doing what he wants. Exactly! Bravo! Bravo! Goes back to clapping and addressing the room. You see, in the modern day, we don't need to worry about bandits so much. A musician will do. A musician's the hero we need. A musician brings cheer to the people. Gets very close to this man. Yesterday had its issues. I'm sure today has its own, but he takes a look at his paper again. Another tale of a bygone era. Something he drafted up that he thought he could feed to the people of Bluebell. Abandoned immediately. He looks at the paper and grins, and suddenly there's a crack. A hole is burnt straight through the center of the paper.
Move it! Yarzan of the Cattyard Royals coming through! Everybody put your hands up and hand over your wallets! Wait, maybe not that last part.
Wait a minute, are we robbing them too, Yarzan?
I mean if we had the time.
The man throws himself to the ground as two masked pursuers chase after the dude who just charged into the room.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! This man rushes over to the poker table. Don't try anything stupid unless you'd like anybody here to have an unhealthy dose of vitamin knife. There is no knife visible on his person.
Two masked figures immediately run up and just kind of shove this guy out of the way, supporting Yarzan of the Cattyard Royals.
I give a smirk and dash past, scrungling the carpet up the stairs to make it more difficult to follow.
Partially pinned down by the two guards over here, this man, judo throws one man behind him into this guard, leaps off of the chair, says, "Keep it up, piano man," and rushes over to join Yarzan.
One of the masked figures shrugs at the other and they continue after you.
I kick over the table, crash the potted plants, pick up the loot, and whip it into the crowd. Don't forget, Yarzan of the Cattyard Royals on stage!
It strikes the brown-haired man.
Oh shit, sorry! Sorry!
Gerard picks up this chair and whips it at one of the guards before leaping into this hallway and grabbing a brochure for a free pizza party.
Move it! I'm going to shove aside this man and try to take his wallet. Rather, take his wallet.
While he's distracted, I'm gonna take his hat and replace it with my own, which is mostly made of burlap.
The two guards, equivalently confused and charge after you. Okay, after them! You tear ass down the hallway, sending up just a wave of papers.
Quite literally tearing, I drag along a clawed hand through the hall.
You and your sidekicks keep on heading down this alleyway. Now, this is going to be the beginning of an action scene.
Oh shit.
Starting right here, I'm going to explain how to play this very complicated game.
Why yes, this is a new system that you crafted yourself lovingly at home, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Brand new system, brand new mechanics, and I'm going to start out with something new and completely spicy. In order to accomplish tasks, you roll these objects called a d20. So,
A dice.
20
dice.
sides?
20 sides.
yes.
Isn't 20 sides a bit extravagant?
That's...
I know, right? We could have made do with 6. So, as you progress through this scene, use your d20s to slow down your pursuers.
I'm going to whip around, not even giving the Randy behind me a warning, and fire off a gunshot at the guards.
Okay, give me a d20 for gun.
That is certainly a 4.
That's fine. Now, when you roll miserably badly, things that you want to happen don't.
This is a new and novel concept.
Right? You pull out your gun pointed at the Randy. They like shake their head for half a second, like, dude, what the hell?
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Anyway, you slow him down. I push the Randy instead and run forward.
The other Randy grabs the other and drags them with.
Great. I jet forward, turn around briefly, reach into one pocket to grab a handful of the grit that accumulates naturally in there, and throw it at the visors of the knights behind us.
Ew.
Bad.
Oh my
Pocket
god.
sand.
Worse.
Give me a roll for pocket grime.
There you go.
7. Okay.
Oh.
While still bad, that'll actually do enough.
Oh, thank God.
You managed to pocket sand these people in the face, almost catching your poor 2 friends. They slow down for half of an instant.
All right, I sprint ahead, round the corner too quickly, scootle and scomple across this cloth and generally trip all over myself and fuck it up.
Hey, what the hell?
I'm sorry!
Noticing how Yarzin trips over this cloth, Gerard has an idea. He rounds the corner, grabs the roll of cloth, pulls it into the alley, and then kicks it towards the guards.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Give me a roll. Oh, perfect. You send a positive wave of cloth at the 2 guards chasing you down. They're caught up as they hit this crate. It creates a small little fort for them. A fort that traps them. The 2, you're like, damn, I'm cool. You exchange like knowing looks around you. With this guy, with these guys, they nod back at you. They start chasing you.
I pause mid-hat tip to keep running.
Seeing Gerardia toss that cloth into the alley gives me an idea. After recovering from my trip, I whip around and fire my gun at the guards.
Gives me an idea. A carpet, when rolled up, looks like the barrel of a gun.
This guard hits the deck to try to dodge the bullet.
Bang! After firing the shot, I continue sprinting forward, jumping over the gap between Bluebell's lower levels.
Yeah, now mind, you're pretty damn high up here. Bluebell is a vertical city. You're on tempo 8, floor 8. You're high in the skies.
I try not to think about it.
Well, now that you've already done it, I'm forced to think about it. Gerard jumps over the gap, notices some gears and what looks like steam pipes over here, grabs a piece of scrap metal and jams it in between a couple of them.
Get back here, now I'm thinking about it. The guard's just charging after you. You blast him with a wave of comedy steam.
Enjoy your 3rd-degree burns!
I won't. I've got a helmet on.
You know, Gerardia, if you're scared, we can hold hands.
Well, we're a little bit past the tall part, so I think, sure, why not?
Nice! I grab Gerardia's hand. Yeah. You realize Yarzin is actually quite scared. I continue sprinting forward, Gerardia in tow.
Ow, ow, ow.
More guards continue to close in on you.
Uh-oh.
They chase you into the bottleneck.
Wait, Gerardia, here! Toss these at the knights! You know what they say? Pepper a day keeps the police away!
I think just you say that, but why not? I chuck peppers at the guards.
Give me a roll for pepper.
Oh, man.
6? Oh, the pepper goes wide. The idiom is false. One of the guards attempts to grab at you.
Uh-oh.
Yarzin, give me a roll to squiddle.
Can I squiddle Gerardia with my gun?
What, are you gonna shoot your
shoot
friend?
me?
Are you
No,
gonna
I mean
shoot
the
the
Trying to
guard.
guy?
shoot me right back.
I'm gonna
Okay.
shoot the guard so that Gerardia may squiddle. Hey.
Well, no, yeah, Squiddle Gerard
No,
with
yeah.
my gun sounds like.
Right, yeah.
Ooh, that's some advanced squiddling technique. It's almost like you're waving a gun around through a crowded marketplace and screaming.
All right, everybody, wallets up and hands up. Give me your hands.
Sands out, hands out.
And with that, Gerardia throws another handful of sand in this guy's face.
Actually, yeah, using that distraction, I'm gonna try and hop up onto this table, use this guard's head as a foothold, and jump up onto these awnings.
I high five Gerardia.
Just for style
and keep
points.
sprinting.
Yeah, I high five
yeah.
back.
You guys climb up, like, your combined weight definitely sends just a wave down as you force this down towards the ground. These two start screaming and taking off in opposite directions. You tear through the bottom and continue charging.
And don't forget, Yarzan of the Cat-Eared Royals.
That's what he says.
Bang.
Don't forget it.
And also Gerardia. He's not one of the.
Oh,
he's
yes,
not.
I'm Gerardia Beryllium of the Trash Heap Berylliums. Don't forget me.
That's kind of a degrading name, man. Is that really what you want to go with?
Well, it's what the people chose for us. I can't really turn my nose up at it.
I suppose. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway,
You approach the towering spire at the corner of the tempo. Its shape holds up the floor above it. You recognize the giant gate set at its base. This is your destination.
I skid to a halt and slam into the door.
Whoa, hold on now. There's a bar holding it in place.
Yeah, it's pretty high up.
Eh,
Okay, here. How about you get on my shoulders?
okay.
And I'll just bend
Yeah.
down like this. Okay, and now just squidge up a little more.
Come on. All right. Okay.
You guys flip off the comedy and practical bar that's halfway up this giant door.
Okay. We need to get in here quick. I think the guards are still chasing. And you two, stand guard.
Yeah, keep an
against
eye on things for us.
The
Just
guards.
keep things hush hush. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Whispered out to either side. You clear the doorway and the character suddenly changes. The fevered pitch of Bluebell behind you suddenly dies, almost freezes in the air. The stark contrast stops you dead in your tracks.
I listen to the sound of the door echoing shut behind us, like uncharacteristically long. Okay. Definitely a UHS, I think.
Oh
Right?
yeah, things are feeling very, very strange here. Gerardia lights up a cigarette and then frowns deeply as the smoke sinks to the floor. That's not right.
Oh wait, check this out. I like this one. I lift my gun up, let go of it in midair, and it just kind of stays there.
Is that dangerous?
Yeah,
It's got to be dangerous, right? It's kind of pointing at me.
it's really dangerous.
Yeah, you should probably put that back in its holster, right?
Holster?
Oh God, Yarson.
Anyway, we need to make our way to the center of this so that we can get this thing sorted out.
Okay, but this shit gives me a headache. Let's do it fast.
Well, yeah, no kidding.
As you pass through the area, you notice various books, ledgers, etc. set up on these shelves all around you.
Anything
As-
valuable looking?
Yeah, I kind of like skim the titles of the books.
These are mostly shipping reports, actually. They're sort of near the entrance so that, I guess you're guessing that the RNAians can keep up with whatever the hell's going on in here. You take a look around, and you notice that this area isn't the only one like it. In fact, there are multiple replicas of it, stretching up the walls, refracted on either sides.
Oh,
It
holy
appears as if-
shit.
It appears as if you're looking through the world through refracted glass.
So, like, is this an infinite labyrinth of boring books?
That's what it's looking like. I look down one hallway and see two figures that look startling like Yarson and myself.
I look at the figures and then look at my gun and kind of half-heartedly aim towards them.
I shake my head at Yarson. I like push Yarson's gun down and shake my head.
I turn away from the us in the distance and keep walking down this hallway, just like marveling at the infinitely large expanses of this place.
I take a look at the incredibly gleaming crystalline walls.
You think that'd sell for money?
Yes, but I didn't bring my chisel.
I'm all out of vitamin chisel.
You take a look to either side, and you see the shelves continue on in either direction. However, these ones aren't staffed by boring-ass-looking books. They're staffed by just boxes of garbage.
So they're just using it to store shit. That's really boring.
They're using it to store boxes of garbage. Quick, let's go through it.
No, Girardi, no, don't jump! I understand that you have a natural affinity for garbage, but that doesn't mean that we can abandon the mission now.
When you say it like that, it almost makes me sound like a trash person.
That's the name you were yelling when we were...
Well,
Never
not quite, but it's not important.
Well, okay, whatever. Listen, I think when this thing comes crashing down, RNA is gonna be dealt a pretty big blow. Because this looks like, I mean, how much shit do you think they're storing in here?
Hard to tell. A whole lot of it looks like.
Like a country's worth, right?
At least, but the thing is, I don't think any of it looks very important.
It's like books, documents, books.
Yeah, what do you need books and documents for?
I don't know, I've never used one in my life.
Exactly.
Oh, they're so stupid!
I love them.
As you clear the threshold, you see something in front of you. It's a
Oh,
figure it's a figure you were more or less expecting. However, it still strikes fear into your heart. A great construction of distorted energy stands at the far side of the room. Driven up and down its body are spines and spikes, swords and arrows driven into its living flesh. It's clear enough that this creature is more or less what's causing this distortion. It has clenched in its palm a gleaming golden pocket watch.
I pat Girardi on the shoulder and point to the pocket watch.
I see it.
Okay, good. So, it looks like this thing's pretty beat to hell already. And I think it's also, what's keeping this place together. So, when we take it
I think
out...
they've been, beating it to keep this place up and running. Ah, that's horrible.
That's really fucked up that they're beating
really
this, that they're
bad.
keeping this thing alive just so they can store their boring documents.
Yeah, we should be the good people in this equation and kill it good and proper.
Yeah, you're right. We should execute this thing without a trial or even trying. Anyway, you're right. Let's bring this thing's misery to an end.
Okay.
With a gun.
All right. Either way.
You go first though. They still scare me.
As you enter the room, the beast draws up to its full height. This is a creature known as... This is a creature known as a distortion giant. Big. Just being in its presence draws the breath from your chests. You feel lightheaded. The creature observes you, raises both of its hands, and is ready for your assault.
Yeah, I've fought raccoons more vicious than you. Girardi is a blur of action in a moment, rushing forward, planting his feet in front of the creature, and doing a full front flip before hitting it in its forehead with his heel.
So, we're going to begin by describing combat. Now, the way that combat works is simple. There's no initiative, no nothing like that. It simply goes player phase, enemy phase, player phase until you're all out of actions. You get your action at the start of the act. So, right now, your team functionally has 2 actions. That thing's team functionally has 1. So, you guys need to decide who goes first, and it seems like Girardi has certainly taken the initiative.
Yeah, I'm afraid I might have jumped the gun a little bit here.
Now,
Oops.
what you're performing right now is called a wild attack. This is just an attack. You're hitting something. You roll a d20 plus a d6, and that's it. We see if it hits.
There is my d20,
Okay, 8.
and let me roll that d6.
D6, fantastic. Okay, I should put it this way. Your combined roll determines not only your measure of success, but how much damage you deal. This way, we only needed to roll the dice the one time, and it's front-loaded. So, in this way, we know that you hit because you have a 14 to hit, and you deal 6 damage because your d6 rolled a 6. That's quite a lot. You strike its forehead and send up a wave of spectral blood. It's quickly caught and twists, almost being erased from existence. This creature's hardy, but clearly on its deathbed. It begins its turn. It raises 1 red palm. A sword is driven straight through the center of it, but that doesn't seem to bother it at all. It extends 1 hand and uses an ability to cast a status effect on both of you guys. Now,
Both?
Yeah, I'm going to clarify something really quick.
Okay.
Not only can you spend your action attacking, you can spend it defending or evading. In this case, Gerardia, since you've already attacked, chances are you're taking the full brunt of this.
Heck yeah.
However, Yarzin, you still have a chance to evade.
I want
Are you
to
going
evade.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So what you do, functionally with your evade action, is roll me a contested roll. So you give me a d20.
D20 plus 6 or just D20?
You give me a d20, just raw d20.
All right.
You dodge into a nearby bookcase.
Take it back.
The books that you spurned your entire life have come back with a vengeance.
No.
The creature extends its palm, and for a second you feel rooted. As if your binding to this material world were suddenly severed. A stake is driven through your very soul, and you feel immensely cold.
What?
At the end of the next act, you will be killed instantly.
What?
Is that for both of us?
Okay, start of the round again. Everybody's out of actions, player phase.
Fuck you. I'm gonna dive forward, wiping the blood from my nose, and kind of with like a twisted, nervous, terrified smile, quick draw my gun and empty as many bullets into this thing as I can.
Fantastic! And in this case, you're using one of the abilities granted to you by your class.
Gun.
Yeah, I believe you called your class Gun.
Or more specifically, Gunner, or Cadir
Yeah.
Royal, rather.
Yeah, no, but I believe this is called Gun. And the ability is to own a gun.
It's not many people have this ability.
Yeah, so in this case, you get a bonus equivalent to the number of bullets that you're emptying into the creature. Are you gonna empty the chamber?
I fired twice already, I think.
Yeah,
so,
you've got 6 shots, 4 shots left.
Yeah.
You can give yourself a +4 and a +4 at the cost
2
of
plus
reloading
fours?
on your next turn.
Yeah, tight.
Basically, well, you could give yourself a +4 to attack and damage. So you
Okay.
just do d20 plus d6 plus 4.
Okay, here we go. There is that. Whoa! So that is 26 total.
Okay,
Holy
not
crap,
too
nice.
shabby. Now furious, Yarzin hits the ground, shoves the books out of the way, and takes a shot. You strike it once in each eye. An impressive feat considering you only had 4 bullets. The creature lets out a howl and begins its turn.
1 bullet per 2 eyes. Not bad.
It's going to draw back its arm and strike at Gerardia.
Uh-oh. Now, can I use a defense action, like, to set
Absolutely.
up a counter for this or something?
Yes, actually.
Perfect.
Because your class specifically enables you to do something here.
Haha! So I guess while this creature is preparing its attack, Gerardia is going to sink into a practiced swordsman's stance, putting one hand on the handle of his cane as though it's perhaps something more than a cane.
Oh shit.
And he waits.
Oh fuck.
Okay. The creature's going to swing at you. Give me your contested roll.
Aw, jeez.
Oh, this is hilarious. Mostly because your attack gets to go first.
Oh, great.
Give me your d6 as you counterattack before you're pelted across the room.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Okay! Gerardia, you are decked square in the jaw and go flying back into the same bookshelf.
Gerardia!
Yarzin!
You land with a squelch, turning, stopping, and seeing as the creature stands with your knife jammed in its chest.
My cane is broken into right next to me, clearly just a normal ass wooden cane.
The creature,
Shoot the gun!
I'm out of bullet. Oh.
Oh, shit!
the creature looks down at itself as if like, are you fucking kidding me? Taken out by that shit as it begins to dissolve into ethereal nothingness.
Oh, did I get it?
You did it, Gerardia. You saved the day.
Ooh, and I only broke half of my ribs in the process. Ooh,
I help him up and brush off the useless books.
thank you.
She just brushes off the top book, which is how to cancel out an instant death spell from a spatial distortion challenge.
Useless books. So do you need the cane to walk? Should I help?
Oh no, it's purely for show.
Oh, okay. Here, you can, like, if you need to, I can lend you my shoulder.
Oh yes, thank you very much.
Yarzin is very
Gerardia
visibly
puts,
shaking from fear.
Gerardia puts like all of his considerable weight on his cat friend's shoulders.
Wow, you're really heavy. Okay, let's go.
Thanks, it's all the meat.
That's okay, Yarson. I can. It's fine.
You gonna walk up and pick up that pocket watch?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You clasp it in your palm. It has a weird, almost like, it has a chilly air to it. Like you just left it in the freezer a little bit too long. Actually, Gerardia, you probably wouldn't know what a freezer is because you are a trash person.
I had an icebox once.
You touch it and pop it open for a split second. The watch appears to be shattered on the inside, but keeps on ticking away.
Yep, seems to be it.
You're not sure where the gears and, like, mechanisms that work this thing are, but,
God, these UHS things are fucking creepy.
Yeah, I hear that. No use trying to make sense out of it.
Fair.
And with that, the kaleidoscope begins to close around you.
Uh-oh.
The world
shit.
rippling behind as
Oh,
wave
fuck.
after wave
Do we-
of
do we
books
run?
come crashing down.
Yeah, run
Uh-oh.
down the
Okay.
hallway.
Here we go.
You exit, a feeling of pride in your chest. You feel like it's a job well done, and you almost forgot that you were being chased at baton point through this entire city while firing off wild shots, you psychopath. You feel like you did good today. You feel like you could go home, report to the boss, and give him for once, a job well done report.
What do you mean for once? We're totally
Yeah,
good
come
at our
on.
job.
We're great at this.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, no, that's fine. The narrator will stop sassing you now. You're both
Thank
you're both perfect at your job. You're wonderful.
I mean, not perfect. There's totally room for error, but...
You
We have
shot
a pretty
someone
good
earlier.
track record, though.
You shot someone.
Oh,
Regardless, we're getting off topic. You feel proud. You wander out. You get a whiff of that wonderful bluebell air.
I love this non-creepy air.
I like all of the smoke in it.
He says while smoking.
Oh no.
Phase A of your plan done.
It's time for Phase B. Get the fuck out of the city and buy dinner.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
okay, I
which,
thought
it
that's
looks
what
like
phase
you're
B
the one
was.
that got the kill on it, so I owe you dinner.
You sure do. It's a good thing too, because I have no money.
Oh, wait, real quick. We should probably get a distraction going to make it out of here a bit cleaner.
That's a good point.
I turn to this hooded Randy who I almost shot earlier and pat them on the shoulder and say, look, I'm sorry about almost shooting you earlier, but, like, could you make it up to me by making a distraction for us? Thanks.
I pat this other hooded Randy on the shoulder. It's been very good working with you.
Oh, yeah, wait, here, shake hands. I never really knew your names because you're both kind of weird and didn't say anything, but... I hold out both hands at the same time for a handshake.
Yeah, they shake your hand.
I just
Hey.
kind of wave awkwardly from like a couple of feet off.
Okay, bye. Nice knowing you.
well. I'm sure they'll be fine.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sure they won't die a horrible, gruesome death while trying to be our distraction.
Oh my god, that's what a distraction is?
Yarzen.
What? Is that what we've been doing every time?
Yarzen, it's okay. Like I said, I'm sure they'll be fine.
I need to talk to the boss. Listen, I can't get back into the cat. It's not befitting of a member of the Cat-Eared Royals to kill the innocent.
I mean, can a Cadia Royal basically do whatever the heck they want, being royalty?
You know nothing about us.
Yeah, clearly.
You walk through the city and it's like eerily quiet up here. Actually,
Spooky?
the normal hubbub is completely gone. Suddenly, you hear a screeching sound from above and the clanking of metal.
Ouch.
Oh, is it because of your astute cat hearing?
No, I just have good hearing.
Repelling from the floor above come many, many Arenaean soldiers. One by one they impact, pointing their weapons at you. These are real-ass guns.
I draw my real ass gun.
You reloaded that bad boy, right?
And with a great clamor comes the one at the head of it all. A man with a sneering, stupid expression. How's it going? You thought you could sneak into our facility, eh?
Yes.
Take our little item. He attempts to detach the little belt that's keeping him suspended to the floor above. He clatters to the ground. The Red Knight next to him picks him up. Thank you. Okay, so you thought you could get away smooth, huh? Break in here,
Yeah.
ruin
really
one
did,
of our
yes.
facilities. Well, I'll have you know that this is all going according to plan. Sir, what about the hundreds of thousands of gold and property damage? All according to plan! Now you're going to tell me who you work for. You're gonna tell me why you're here. You're gonna tell us what you're doing with that UHS.
Do you think I'll give up the information that easily? I'm Yarzin of the Cat-Eared Royals. You're gonna have to put the nails to me if you want to get the
Red Knight shrugs
information.
and starts to point. Okay, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Anyway, no! Yarzin of the
What's he doing?
Yeah, I don't know. He does this sometimes, it's fine. Anyway, no, Yarzin of the Cat-Eared Royals, okay? Is that a gang of some sort?
The most illustrious gang in all of Windrose.
Right. Okay, yeah, never heard of you, actually.
Well then,
Listen,
you're
friend.
stupid.
You should just let us go right now, okay? It's I can tell you that you're gonna regret this very much, or my name isn't Gerardia. I don't care what his middle name is, Martha Brilliant.
Suddenly there's an eruption! You lot hit the floor, completely depleted of HP in half a second! Whoa! Whoa! What the hell? Right next to me, too! He grips his ear. Holy crap! Did I just witness a murder? Ah, jeez! He takes a few steps back. Oh, why?
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, go search them. If they're even, I don't even want to look at that. He takes a few steps away. Oh, God. Red Knight like fucking shrugs, like, yeah, okay, man. Starts to walk away. The guards walk over. This one begins to search through your collective inventories. Sir, what was it we were looking for again? A, pocket watch. Like a broken pocket watch. Like, more broken now, presumably, but a broken pocket watch. It's not here. What was that? It's not here. Pocket watch isn't here. Start to back off slightly. What? The Red Knight takes off into the distance. Meanwhile, elsewhere... The train rattles away from Bluebell, crossing the wastes, kicking up a thin layer of dust. The two Randys grip the back of the train, and it appears that the distraction has worked. Maybe not in the direction that, Yarson and Gerard, God bless, intended, but, it more or less worked. In the palm of one of their hands, they clasp a golden watch as this train scoots away into the distance. However, this flawless escape doesn't last long. You quickly hear the disruption of air as a helicopter approaches from behind, quickly gaining ground. One by one, the thud of RNA and soldiers touching down on the surface of the train meets your ears. In response, you throw off your cloak and reveal another cloak!
Whoa.
You touch down on the surface of the train, bright yellow cloak billowing in the wind. Your restrictive secondary cloak was meant to keep you safe from strangers, but at this point, that is moot. Your ally also reaches down, releasing the clasp from his own, and reveals... Who is this guy?
What?
It's Man in Helmet.
The most pivotal character.
The two brace themselves for an escape. This wasn't part of the job. None of this was part of the job. You were here to escort two wild and rowdy people as they were supposed to retrieve a dangerous magic item for you. They did that. They caused a hell of a lot of trouble on the way through, and now you're stuck dealing with it. I'm pretty sure you want none of this, but I'm really sorry. Combat is starting.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna use one of my little abilities.
Okay, so, as a reminder, in order to accomplish something, you roll a d20. It's simple. However, these d20s can be modified by things called classes. Now, every character has a class in this session in particular.
Be careful, Will. I rolled a d20 once, and look what happened to me.
You rolled it more than once. Let's see here. What I will do is I'm going to use Shooting Stars.
Ooh.
You gain a range attack that deals damage equal to your swing. So the masked woman reaches into her cloak and pulls out multiple fireworks and lights them recklessly towards them.
The two guards look at each other like, what in the fuck?
Oh,
Oh! Oh! Okay.
Oh!
So the two exchange looks like, what the fuck is up with her? She pulls out 2 fireworks, and even under the mask, you can feel the grin. Overarming, she just fastball specials a firework into the chest of this guy. It pops and sends him careening backwards, immediately KO'd.
Oh my god.
Next up, it's their go. This remaining guy is going to close distance, get to the very edge, eye the gap, and be like, oh man, should I really jump this? Next up, it's your go, player phase.
Heroic Ned steps forward.
Wait, okay, yeah, you got, go get him, Ned!
Hello, I am Ned P. Canman. I'd like to welcome you to this nice train. It reminds me of my city. Let's take a minute or two, and I can tell you a thing or two about our local crops.
Ned has a very special class, the class of Town Guard. The Town Guard class sucks in pretty much every single way. However, it does carry the unique ability to draw the ire and attention of others by being really annoying and giving factual, long-winded speeches about the town. Now, the success of this is based on how annoying the speech you just gave is.
So, plain D20 or should I D6?
Give me D20 plus D6 for this. This is a wild, so yeah. 15. So, he stops dead for a second, thinks about the jump he's about to make, sets his eyes on you, just like starts to grip the side of his baton like, okay, Ned, yeah, I'll be right over there in a sec.
Let me tell you about the corn that we have. Good corn.
So, top of the turn order. Now, swinging wildly isn't the only thing that you can do. Your character has what are called attributes, things that modify your abilities. Each of these attributes are custom decided by the creator, and, well, you don't have to come into the session with them, but hopefully by the end you have an idea of what your character can do, what they can accomplish. So, starting with this turn, I'm going to say that you guys should start rolling your first colors, which are your attributes. Pick one of your 3 colors, either red, blue, or yellow, and add it to your character sheet. Functionally, what you do is, at the start of each round, you'll roll that color and get a little bit of a preview of the dice. And you'll get something that's called affinity. It sets your color to match that color until the end of the turn. This has significance, but that's the only thing you need to remember for now. Let's start with Celine. Which color are you gonna add to your character first?
I will start with, let's do yellow.
Girl!
Sprout, you too should add a color to your repertoire. What color are you gonna choose?
Ned likes blue.
Ned is a basic bitch.
Nice to Ned.
But at least he's alive.
You take that back!
Roll your blue at the start of the turn, pretty much, or start of the act. A 3, okay. So now you need to make a decision. The new act is beginning. You've gotten a preview of the dice you can use? You need to choose which color to lock in to use. So, Celine, if you decide to carry that yellow dice with you into the turn, you'll be locked into yellow. Sprout, if you decide to carry that blue dice with you into the turn, you'll be locked into blue. You can opt out of doing this and swing wildly. You won't be affiliated with any color, and you will roll a raw d6 plus a raw d20. It is more random, but also has its own advantages. So, I assume Celine, since you rolled exceptionally well with that 6, you'll probably want to lock that in.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so I'm going to lock that in, and you're going to get a nifty border.
Yay.
Sprout, on the other hand, are you going to lock in that blue dice?
I wants to see what happens.
Okay, so you're gonna lock in that blue dice. Okay, so, start of the round. Who's acting first?
Let's see here. Is there anything that you want me to kind of dual tech with you here, Ned?
Ned will assist as much as he can.
So let's see here. What Celine is going to do is, because she's a very agile individual, being a thief that she is. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna get like behind him.
Okay.
and then using this here, I guess like a little steam stack or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that, like swing around and just kick him in the back and throwing him towards Ned to do something.
I love this. So, dual techs are special in this system. Rather than you sit your turn to wait until the next person's turn, since initiative is rather loose, you both can act now and burn your actions functionally. It happens immediately if you want to do a 1-2. Do you want to do that?
Ned is ready.
That's always ready. So Celine will sprint forward, launch herself towards the steam stack, using the momentum of her jump to latch on and then kick this guy in the back. I just roll a d20 plus 6.
Yeah,
rolled.
d20 plus 6. And Ned would roll as well a d20 plus 3.
Damn, these are some real GM rolls coming out.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy crap.
Sweet.
Okay,
Starting strong.
so the way this works also with the dual tech, it's very important. So right now, one of you has aspected yellow and one of you has aspected blue. This attack is considered both a blue and yellow attack for both of you. This will be relevant because enemies have their own colors, but we'll get into that on your next turn. Both of your strikes connect and you both deal full damage. There's a distinct advantage to acting with dual techs. In fact, it's efficient, it's safe. It has some drawbacks, but you know, whatever. Ned, what are you doing to this guy? He's flying at you.
Ned's going to do his special ability, hard shove.
He pulls right between the rails.
Celine swings gracefully around this pipe, strikes the man in the back with 2 heels, and sends him careening forwards. He's like, oh god, this is how my life ends. And he's ready, he's waiting, he looks up into the face of Ned, as cold and emotionless as the Reaper. He reaches out both of his hands and just gives a light shove, and the guy just falls down onto the lower platform like,
Ooh! Okay.
wait, hold on. He looks around, notices that the door's open here, looks back up at Ned. I'll be right back. Runs inside the train. You never saw this man again.
Did he get lost?
No, he fucked off. I mean, would you keep up with this shit?
No, probably not. Celine hops back over, gives Ned a high five. That was a great shove. What else can you do?
Oh, do you want a tutorial?
I feel that's a little redundant right now.
I apologize.
Let me tell you a thing or two about colors.
And with that, the train speeds up.
Okay, well, they clearly didn't tell the other guys about this. Let's see here. Is it my turn to act?
Yeah, you're beginning a new turn, so roll me out some new, fresh D6s.
All right, I think I will do a blue this time.
With this turn, we're going to add a second attribute to your characters in addition to the first one you chose on your last turn. So, in this case, Celine already has a yellow, and Ned already has a blue. Now, you can add another color, and Celine has made her choice with blue. So, at the beginning of each act, she gets to roll out both yellow and blue and see which ones she prefers. Something tells me she'll be choosing blue this turn because it's another 6. Why don't you roll out yellow as well to see if we get another 6?
No, I'm going blue.
Yeah, going blue.
Found the perfect place to stash your ones.
Ned would love to do red, because he is ready to roll.
Celine just facepalms. She's so embarrassed to be with him. Ned's a good bean, but he's a weird bean.
So you guys are looking at 2 blues probably for this turn, unless Ned is ready to be surprising.
Ned surprising? That's the one thing he's constant at, not being surprising.
So, begin your round, it's the player phase. You'll notice that the enemies this turn have prepared their own attributes and colors.
Ooh.
Now, something special happens when you attack somebody who's prepared the same color as you, but I'll let you guys handle that.
It's quite
Celine is going to sprint up ahead, and she reaches into her cloak and she pulls out 2 kind of large sickles that have wires on the base of the hilt. And she throws both of them at this guy, trying to get a good grip on him and then kind of pull him off the train.
Oh man, okay.
So let me roll a d20
Yeah, d20 plus 6.
plus 6.
So you're attacking the blue guy in front of you?
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
24 altogether.
24, okay.
Ooh, girl.
Now, what happens when you strike someone who has the same color as you?
You die instantly.
Yeah, that's what happened earlier. Now, something special happens when you attack somebody who prepared the same color as you during a turn. Since you've both prepped blue, we get what's called a clash. A clash is the best way to defend yourself, and it's also your best defensive option when you think you can overwhelm the enemy. Functionally, when a clash happens, rather than you just hitting versus their AC, you roll competitively versus one another. And the winner gets a big prize that we're probably going to get into in a second because this guy physically cannot roll higher than a 24. You strike the man with both of your sickles, digging into armor and pulling him to the side. He attaches his wire to the side of the train and dangles there uselessly, functionally out of the fight. Now, since you clashed and won, you are functionally afforded another action in the action economy. So, rather than your turn ending now, you can act again. Alternatively, you can pass that action to a teammate to enable them to act instantaneously. So, this is a game all about pushing your advantage and always staying on your toes because your friends can instantly tag you into an encounter.
Ned, do you have any plans, or do you want me to just keep on beating these guys up?
Ned always has a plan.
All right, then if that's the case, I'll pass it over to Ned.
Ned jumps off the train.
Ned clumsily stomps over to you. He's like, all right, my prepared blue is now active, and he'll give you a friendly sky bump.
A sky bump?
Basically,
Could you
he's
explain
using
that?
his heavy shove to propel his friend upwards for, basically giving her, like, his attack.
Boosty.
So,
Boosty.
okay, if you want to immediately turn this into another dual tech, I am 100% on board.
Yeah,
This-
actually, if you don't mind, what we could try is if you give me a boosty, you have like a shield or something, right? Or are you just like coming up and giving me that?
I have a small circular thing on my arm.
Alright, she turns around. Ned, that's a buckler, but yeah, we'll use that as a springboard. Celine will
Small circular thing on my arm.
I thought it was
get
a
it all.
bowl.
This is what I eat my soup out.
Celine will jump on the buckler, and then with Ned's help, launch her in the air, and using, because the guy's still probably hooked on her sickles, she's going to start spinning in the air to kind of reel him up, and then slam him into the red dude.
Oh, wow, okay, that's freaking awesome. Okay, so give me a, oh boy, give me your dual tech roll, which would be both of your blues, which is d20 plus 6 for both of you. Oh my god!
Hey guys, nice!
Beautiful! Twinsies! You deal a functional 12 damage to this guy?
Yeah.
You swing this man about, bring him up and over, his little grappling hook breaks over here, goes, oh god! He slams into this guy. Now, because this attack was performed against somebody who'd prepared another color, there isn't a clash. You simply annihilate this person.
No.
They go
Why?
flying back, and this guy like steadies them and takes a hot second to lower them down to the floor below. Like, oh man, that was actually kind of close. Maintains eye contact with you, and then suddenly freezes. He sees something that you don't. You turn around for a second, you see that there's a tunnel coming up.
Here's how the next two party members die.
Oh my god, what if that's just what this campaign was?
Yeah, every session 2 people die and you make new.
The way that this works is this tunnel is functionally an attack against everyone up here except for the two people who
God.
were lowered down. This is considered a clash versus the tunnel. The tunnel is all colors. So you, by entering into this turn with a blue dice prepared, you get to clash against this tunnel. Say it was something else though. Say it was a dragon breathing red fire breath. You'd only get a clash against it if you'd chosen red. However, in this case, everybody gets to respond to it. So you get to use your blue dice, which is called your swing for the turn. It's the dice you've locked in, and it's the dice you're going to use for that entire turn. If you need to go to one dice, it's that. It's called the swing. So you use your swing plus a d20, and we see if you can evade the tunnel.
Great. here I go. Do I need to re-roll the d6?
No. Yeah, once the swing is locked in at the start of the turn, it is set.
Oh, it's the first time I don't roll so
13,
high.
okay. And a 12, okay. Now there was
Save me, Ned.
There was something special about this this tunnel, actually. It had 2 different DCs. If you roll above a 10, you dive to the ground and dodge it easily. Like, you definitely aren't clipped in 2 or anything like that. If you'd rolled above a 15, however, you would have clashed 1 and gotten an action to use immediately as the tunnel was going overhead.
Oh.
In this way, you can have multiple points of articulation. Say one of you had bombed your roll, and the other had rolled really well. You could use your single action to dive over and pull them down. But right now, more importantly, let's see what's up with our friend in the back.
Let's see what's up with Johnny Pisshands.
Johnny Pisshands dives to the ground completely okay as well. You guys enter into the tunnel, and it's the start of a new round. I'm just gonna, yeah. Do you want to add your final color to the mix?
I might as well.
Fantastic. So, as you might expect, there are 3 colors in this system. The primary colors. Adding in that final color, you get the full range of your attributes. Now, right now, they are simply colors. They're blue, they're red, they're etc. In the future, you'll decide what these colors mean to you and assign them a stat. You'll call one strength, you'll call one brains, you'll call one craftiness, you'll call one gun, for example. The stats are as specific or as general as you want. They just have to fit the character. The problem is...
You'll never call one gun again.
The problem with these stats is, if you say, name your red stat strength, and you lock in red at the start of your turn, and you decide halfway through, oh god, this plan doesn't work for this, I need to use my red strength dice to do something dexterous, you are denied the bonus of your swing. You don't get it, because you can't RP that correctly. This is a game of bullshitting the GM. Find ways to use your attributes in any circumstance. Okay, you guys all hit the deck. You're clinging to the top of the train as it bumps worryingly upwards. There's a slight hazard to this. That tunnel roof is mighty close.
Ooh.
I'm thinking I'm going to, it might be a little early to decide this, but I think it seems appropriate for Celine. I'm gonna have yellow be my, like, athletics, so.
Okay.
Running, jumping, kicking, basically anything that, physical exertion and, of that sort. I'm trying to keep it as open and broad as possible, just because, that seems like the name of the game.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So, because of that, I'm going to use that to scurry as quickly as I can over here, and then it looks like, I'd be on the ledge.
You'd be in the air. You could pull some fancy acrobatics, maybe, if you rolled high enough.
You'd have to
Yeah.
do like sideways horizontal acrobatics to get through there, though. Because you don't have you don't have verticality, right?
Right, so my plan is that she, like, scurries like a little salamander, and then when she gets to the ledge, she hurls herself at this guy's feet, and then twists around and then propels him upwards into the roof.
Oh, man! Okay. So let's answer the question of what happens when you clash with an enemy and they win. They turn the tables on you. It goes bad. Celine, you charge at this man, and you attempt to give him the McTwisty into the roof, but it is you who finds yourself McTwisted.
Oh no!
You grip his ankle, and he just kicks out his leg, sending you awkwardly gripping between the 2 train cars. You stand basically like cartoon-like, holding yourself up as he walks across your back and goes to the other side, addressing what he thinks is the real threat here, Ned.
What? You didn't see? I did so many cool things before!
All right, you sick son of a bitch, bring it on.
You be nice to Ned!
Strides forward and charges at you, and then stops because he doesn't have enough movement.
It's like an elongated scene of him running along the train.
Well, the best part is he's, like, probably crouched. So he's doing, like a little roadie run.
Duck walking.
You sick son of a bitch.
Ned, you're the only one with actions left.
Now it is my big try moment. Now I'll use this, looks at hand, sword.
Now, Piff required a, Piff specifically requested a very bad character class. This is, I believe, you're using your once per combat ability, correct?
Yes.
Man, get ready for this, guys. Ned, what's it do?
Oh man, once per combat, I can add 2 to my attack and 2 to my damage roll.
It's pretty nasty.
I can't believe that you let such an oversight into the game, Jay. Like, Ned seems really strong.
I haven't seen nothing
How am
yet.
I supposed to compete with this?
Listen, the tier lists aren't out yet, but I have a preview of who's
My
gonna
tier
be-
lists are out because I'm crying.
Okay, so Ned, you want to give me your attack? I believe you have a 6 locked in, so it's D20 plus 6 plus 2.
Here is Ned's moment. He unsheaths a fairly, standard-looking sword. Rises above his head, clipping the roof a little bit and realizing he can't do too hard of a swing.
Sparks rain down. Ned looks terrifying.
His expression is emotionless.
Takes his second hand, trying to balance on the train car, and swings as hard as Ned can.
Ned slams this man directly into the side of the train car, KOing him instantly. You have a bonus action. What are you gonna do with it?
Celine. I need to help Celine. One, Ned. Well, that was fun.
Why?
Have anything?
Ned has your gratitude.
Celine is completely splayed up between these cars. She's losing her grip because she rolled a 6.
You got my moral support. You can do it.
Oh my god.
All right, Ned believes in me.
You see him pumping his arm back and forth.
Let's combat has technically ended, so we're going
Oh
to
boy,
talk about
Ned can use his 1 movement action per not combat.
So we're going to talk about actions, or specifically roles outside of combat. Basically, the way that works is you can choose an attribute to perform a skill-like action. So this would be, I'd be like, hey, give me acrobatics in Pathfinder, you know?
Yeah.
For you, it'd be athletics. All that you're measuring here is, can you do it with your skill? Which, of course, you can. This is simply a test of athletics. If you want to do it in a hurry, you roll d20 plus d6 for your attribute. If you want to take your time a little bit, do it carefully, d20, maximize the d6, and if you want to take 10 minutes, you just get a 26.
Take it, take a 26.
Yeah, you take 20. You take a
basically.
26, exactly. So you get different layers of articulation based on how careful you're taking it, is the idea. Because frequently skilled actions are you're doing them in a rush, you're doing them in a little bit of a rush, or you're taking your sweet ass time. So what are you doing? Are you trying to look cool and just pop right back up?
There's no one here to impress other than Ned.
Taking your time?
So
Yeah,
you're gonna
sure.
try to look cool, right?
She does need to impress Ned. Maybe, because who knows? Maybe thanks to Ned's weird ability of just talking to people in the middle of combat, he might let it slip how cool she is. So she needs to have this topic of conversation. So I'll do the rolling one to do it fast.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Have you met my friend Celine? She tried very hard to impress me once.
Once.
Celine, you do pop up on the side for half a second and you're like, ta-da! Then you start to tip over backwards. Ned grabs your arm and steadies you.
Oh, thank you. Kind of wish you just grabbed me a little earlier, but nice job back there.
Did you just see what you did? Holy crap.
She kind of pumps out her chest and puts her hands on her hips. Yeah, that's what all my training's been about. Being a thief and all that. You learn a thing or two. Firefly. It's kind of my shtick. Oh, he's still up here, isn't he?
He's wedged into the train car and has mostly fallen back down into the layer below.
So what do we do with him?
I say we arrest him.
It'd be ironic if I did that. It's all you, slugger.
Okay, you cuff the guy. And with that, your rather mysterious your mysterious encounter to the within the tunnel comes to an end, and you hit warm sunlight. The warm grasslands strike your eyes as you scoot across the countryside. now braced against the top of the train. You lost that goddamn helicopter in the tunnel.
Okay, well, things are looking up. That's pretty good. So, hey, Ned, I'm thinking. Since we're probably getting pretty close to town, probably shouldn't be on top of this train, huh? Might look a little
You just say
suspicious.
town. I am a town guard. Did you know?
Yes.
Let me tell you about my town.
Not now.
I thought it's plenty. Okay.
Ned, honey. Ned, honey. She, like, puts her hands on the sides of his face. Look me in the eyes. We should
He
probably
looks
get...
past you.
she, like, hey, just snaps a couple times. in front
I'm
of
trying
Ned.
to look down, but it's very hard.
No, Ned, Ned,
Yes, that is my name.
it is. I'm thinking it would probably be a wise idea if we weren't on top of the train right now. One, because of more tunnels, maybe. And two, we're getting near town. It looks suspicious if we're up top here, and if I'm still Firefly. And if you're Ned.
I am Ned.
You begin to hear a slight buzzing, at least.
Like a helicopter
like-
buzz?
No, it's more like the crackling of electricity.
That doesn't sound good.
What?
That's fine.
What?
I immediately grab Ned and we both dive to the side.
Okay! With a sudden cacophony, the back of the train erupts, a lightning strike hitting the back of it and vaporizing wood beneath it. You hear a screech as the train drives forward, burning and crashing.